Worcester has 3 libraries, which is amazing. Got the Upper Library, which is online standard, like University Library, has so many books. I've never really had a problem finding books, and even if it's not there, it's probably going to be online. And there's a Lower Library, which is quite grand, quite fancy. You have to be a bit more quiet there. It's a really nice place to work. And there's a Law Library, which is also a lovely place to work. It's kind of a bit smaller, but you're able to work there with friends kind of a bit more loudly.
I know some people can kind of think that Oxford has a reputation where everybody comes from a private school or from a particular background. And of course, there are people who do go to private schools, but especially at Worcester, I didn't really find that there was, I didn't feel like an odd one out. It's really not something to worry about. There isn't really sort of one type of person that gets into Oxford.
I got here and I got given my reading list of quite a few books that I needed physical copies of, and I was like, it was going to be quite a hefty weight out of my student loan and my budget. So I applied for a book grant, and I know that there were other schemes sort of to help support educationally and with other things there's application forms to fill out for things like that.
We have a learning development officer, Ria, who is really, really lovely. And if you just drop her an email and you can arrange an appointment, and she can go through stuff like time management, exam technique, revision technique, all stuff like that.
When we consider applications, we're looking for potential and aptitude in the study of languages and literature. And there are lots of different ways that you could show this. So for instance, we're looking for a detailed engagement with the literature that you're already studying at school perhaps, or your wider reading, and of course an interest in issues of language, such as translation. We're less concerned with how much you already know or how much you've read than with your motivation and your interest. So don't worry about cramming, as it were, for your application, but think in detail about what it is that interests you about these texts that you're reading.
It's important to emphasize before I say a little about what's involved that it isn't necessary to have done any previous study of any aspect of the ancient world in school in order to apply for the course. All that's necessary is a strong interest in the ancient world, and in the admissions process we're looking for people with a strong interest in and potential for the study of the ancient world, independently of whether they've previously had any teaching in the subject.
And so most undergraduate courses in arts and science involve this study of big ideas, right? Philosophy, politics, economics, classics. But what makes us, I think, distinctive as a subject, and what it's really important that you enjoy to succeed as a law student, and more importantly to have fun, is to really enjoy reading cases and statutes, to really enjoy the study of the law, of this body of rules. And then what we do at undergraduate level, as I say, is we think about the relationship between these rules and big ideas.
I would say there are 4 competencies that I encourage students to develop. The first is close reading. Sometimes this is called practical criticism, and I'm sure you do this in school. Close reading involves slowing down and looking at a passage line by line to see how the text is working. And the closer you get, the more rich and fruitful your interpretations will be.
We draw on disciplines developed from film studies or from the study of literature, from art history. And so when we're engaged in the study of theology and religion, we're really drawing on and utilising methods and ideas from across the humanities, across the study of the humanities. So I might claim that the study of theology and religion is the ultimate humanistic discipline.
What I'd suggest you do is go and have a look at the type of things that you'll be working with all the time if you were to study CAR at Oxford. So that's looking at ancient texts in particular, and ancient documents, so things like inscriptions where you can find them, or coins, stuff like that. But also having a look at the art and the archaeology. You can find quite easily now, because of the internet, you can look up museums. For example, the British Museum has an excellent range of images and information available on their objects, and lots of those are from the ancient world. So go and have a look, go and have a think about them.